I'm Nick. So I guess I'll start with my qualifications. Since last year, I've been an RA for UNC Housing, and as of next year, I'll be a resident advisor mentor, and that's a position that's sort of like oversight of all the other RAs in your building, and you're responsible for sort of training them and teaching them and evaluating them, I think that first speaks to my abilities as a potential co-president, because sort of the resident advisor mentor job description sounds a lot like this co-president position where you're sort of overseeing the board and you're going to be responsible for teaching and training all of your co-chairs. Other things I've done is I am currently the administrative director and assistant musical director of our a cappella group, Sababa, which is actually a lot of work. I do a lot of emailing and a lot of communication with people on campus and people off campus, trying to organize events and performances and other arrangements. So there's a lot of communication in my roles, and I would like to think that I'm very good at communicating with partners. My goals for UNC Hillel, I would say the first goal is outreach. Like the other candidates have mentioned, we may not be reaching all of the people we want to reach, and I mean, I know this was the case for me during my first year, because I would say, oh, I don't need UNC Hillel, that's not for me, and then I found out that I did need it, and then I felt that as a sophomore coming in, you know, at first everyone thought I was a first year because they'd never seen me before, and I just realized we should have, you know, more than just first year students of Hillel. We should have programs for everyone who's coming in and is new. You know, there's transfer students who aren't necessarily first years, or there's people who don't come until their senior year. So I think it's really important that we reach out to everyone, both on campus and off campus. And I could definitely help with that because I work for UNC Housing, like I said, and so I think that part of where we can get people to come to Hillel is through the dorms and through publicity there. So I'm really willing to work with anyone who's interested in working out a plan for that. I also think that our outreach to graduate students needs to be improved. I've been told by a few Jewish graduate students that I know that they wish UNC Hillel would do graduate student events, and I think that's a really interesting concept because I would love to meet Jewish grad students, and I personally feel like having had Hillel be such an important part of my undergraduate experience, if I went somewhere where Hillel wasn't really for grad students, I'd feel kind of left out. So I feel like having a large graduate student program might be really helpful for us and for the grad students on campus. Other goals, I just feel like I was blessed to work on Interfaith Shabbat, and I've been blessed to work for a lot of our other Shabbat programs that were sort of social justice and partnering on campus. Like we had a Pride Shabbat last year, which was great, and I'm really, really hoping we're going to do another one this year. And so I really think that our level of outreach there and our level of interfaith and social justice is great, but we could do so much more. I know this week is Interpersonal Violence Shabbat, which is a big deal, so I really feel like if we could reach out to even more groups, then things would be really great. And if we did a lot more social justice, I think if the board maybe were Haven trained, One Act trained, Safe Zone trained, and Embody trained, that would bring a lot to our program planning. And talking about board, I think that my plan for board is to sort of, going back to my job with UNC Housing, is to bring in sort of our programming system in housing. We have these proposal forms that we have to submit to our leaders, and they'll look over the form. So you write down what your goals are, what sort of resources you're using, what kinds of things you'll need. It has a lot of things about like accessibility and equitable use, which I think might be interesting for us to talk about. So you submit this to your superiors, and they look over it, and they, evaluate, and they say, that this is a great idea, you should think about this, you should think about something else. So it's sort of like a pre-evaluation of the program, and then you go through the program, and you do what you plan to do, plus whatever extra they evaluated, and at the end, you are evaluated again. So it's sort of like this pre- and post-evaluation system of planning programs, which I think is really helpful, because every before and after a program, you have a chance to grow and learn new things. Finally, I don't know, what I hope to get out of this, I guess. I'm just interested in becoming more involved in Hillel. I'm not that involved right now. I mean, I come every Friday, but that's just sort of more religious reasons, but I kind of just, I really enjoy leadership roles, and I really enjoy getting involved, and I really, really enjoy being here. So, thank you.